to all you space boys and space cowgirls, and welcome back to PickItUpGaming. Hope you're doing well. In this week's video we once again return to a galaxy far, far away to experience a new space adventure. Does it live up to legends of old or just fade away into obscurity? Let's find out together, you amazing humans, because this week's video we're talking about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Let's go, shall we, into the deep, deep space and beyond. So after the major success that was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which came out back in 2019, we all knew it wouldn't be long until a sequel would arrive. And in this year 2023, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was released onto the PlayStation 5, Windows and Xbox Series X/S. Now you continue your journey as Cal Kestis, with BD1 by your side and many other friendly faces from the first game, many years after the original, which was Jedi Fallen Order. Still on the run, still looking for a home among the stars, somewhere to keep safe and strong from the Empire, who once again is hunting you down because fortunately for you, you are a Jedi, and the Empire are pretty evil buggers if you ask me, not nice people whatsoever. So I believe one of the main reasons for the first game's massive success is due to the story and characters. It was engrossing, you felt invested, they were likeable, they were fun, you cared about what happened to them, and the story being from A to B to C to D was near enough perfect, keeping you captivated along the way. Now unfortunately for those few people who have missed the first game, there's a recap of events that have happened so far to keep you up to speed and up to date, so when you come into this game you have some idea of what's happened. And you once again take control of Cal Kestis. 5 years has passed since the original game, which was Fallen Order, and you're still around the Empire, doing what you can to try and disrupt the Empire in any way you can possibly do to help the rebels in their cause. Now, along your new journey, you meet new friends and new companions, or bump into old faces along the way, all doing what they can to try and survive this new world order and try and just get by. So the main story beat of this game is trying to find a new world, hidden from Vader and the Emperor, so that Cal and any other outcasts, surviving Jedi, or anyone who opposes the Empire or Vader or the Emperor said themselves, can find a new life, can go back to how they used to be, where it's peace, no one was living in terror or fear of what might happen to them, where they can thrive and maybe one day in the future have enough resources to take down the Empire and bring back some kind of peace to the galaxy. But of course, being one of the last few remaining Jedis in the galaxy, who can you trust? When there's a massive bounty in your head, when everyone's hunting you, there's very few friends and companions who you can fully believe have your back and your interest at heart, who's doing what they can to survive, and who is there for Cal when he most needs them. Those are things you have to find out along the way during this game. With that being said, fortunately, although some set pieces are truly amazing and breathtaking, the characters are still brilliant and fun and captivating, and once again are perfectly portrayed by the actors who played them. The story just isn't as strong as it was as the first game. It's still really enjoyable, but some parts just felt a bit choppy, a bit out of place, a bit strange, and throughout the game I never quite knew who was the big bad at the end of it. The bad guys, but no one really stood out to me like they did in the first game, which had a clear opposing character who you knew you were going to fight at the end and who you knew would be challenged. This one just didn't quite get that, but yeah. So for gameplay, for the large parts, it retains most of what the first game had, which was obviously Fallen Order. In terms of combat, you have more stances to use, which kind of varies up the combat, makes it more enjoyable, makes things different from time to time, which obviously adds more gameplay and more replay value. You obviously have more force abilities unlocked, which gives Cal more of a sense of evolving into a more powerful and learned Jedi, slowly working his way up to the role of Master. Level design wise, it's changed from a more linear design worlds and levels and areas to a more open world approach, which a lot of games are doing nowadays. Now for the most part it does work fine, it is enjoyable, you don't notice it after a while, and it allows for more exploration from the first game, more things to find, more things to do, etc, etc. However, I do prefer the original game's approach. Having more linear levels gave the story more of an impact. It didn't feel bloated, which unfortunately for this game it does occasionally feel a bit kind of bloated, and the worlds begin to seem the same. However, in the first game they felt a lot different and more alive and more unique in their own way. Not necessarily a bad thing, but these obviously observations are made along the way. Still a fun game, still a fun concept, just I prefer the first sign. Hopefully it comes to the third one and you go back to something like that. So visually it does look amazing, it sounds great, and like I said at the beginning of the video, the acting is probably one of the best bits about this game. Controlling Cal is responsive and pretty funny when in combat. The platform can be a bit frustrating at times, but nothing major. However, little gripe here, some of the minor characters can be a bit irritating. It's just a lot of talking without going anywhere, if I'm honest. I personally feel, like I said, the first game we had a smaller cast, more just deep combat, deep stories. Just focus it more on a smaller cast and you'll be a-okay. Apart from that, nothing really to go about. Sounds, looks and feels amazing. So unfortunately the launch of Jedi Survivor has been affected by bugs, glitches and frame rate drops with the occasional crashing. And the game being full priced, this shouldn't be happening. You don't need to have a day 1 patch and day 2 patch to fix this. If you need more time to sort these issues out, by means take time, but just don't charge the amount you're charging for a game when you know there are issues. It's just not fair on the consumer and not fair on you guys. Which is a shame because it does put a lot of people off playing this game. And it is a shame because once you get past those issues, luckily for me, I didn't have too many issues. There was occasionals where it did crash, but I got past it. Like I said, once you get past it, it's a pretty fun game. It's pretty enjoyable. There's a good story to it, not quite as good as the first one, but it's still really enjoyable. The characters are still there, and you'll still have a good time with it if you can get past said bugs. Hopefully in the future, next few months, they completely ironed out and you can enjoy this game from start to finish and explore the world they created, because it is a fantastic world with a good story and plenty of potential there to make it even better. So I believe it said they're making a trilogy, which makes sense. It does feel like it's leading up to a final game. So I would give this game, honestly, a 7 out of 10, with definitely room to improve, and I can see that happening in the third game. So anyway, guys and girls, you beautiful humans across the world, keep safe, keep strong, and as ever, may the Force be with you. And definitely get the first game. First game is really good, this one is still good. Anyway, bye!